Welcome to Is Not, Is To Art Studio. I'm still working on my Hey Diddle Diddle garden art series. I'm going to be straight with you. This spoon dish sculpture was a challenge from designing to fabrication to editing. This hand alone went through 3 designing changes. Yes, they're both from the same flatware place setting family, which of course means 3 fingers and opposing thumbs. But still, how do you do it? I wound up using 3/16 rod for the fingers and a small piece of 3/16 flat to make up the hand, and the arm is 5/16 rod. My torch is a Bernzomatic TS8000 with auto start-stop ignition. I can tell you're impressed, right? It also works great for popping bubbles in resin, but let's save that for another video. Now this is something I'm not proud of, but some silverware was harmed in the making of this video. Spoon's head is actually from a real spoon, but I felt like the body needed to be more substantial, so I used some 1/8 thick carbon steel and made the feet and legs from 3/8 round rod. I gotta tell you, I kind of feel like Dr. Frankenstein, welding on legs, attaching heads and arms. But now I think we have a complete spoon man. With a final coat of silver metallic, I think he's finished. Now we can get started on Miss Dish. Her arms and legs will be the same as the spoon. But for her body, I used 16 gauge carbon steel. You know, there's actually a pretty good backstory on the dish and spoon that most people never hear about. I mean, you know, with a fiddle playing cat and cows jumping over the moon, it's hard to get noticed, especially being just common dinnerware. But actually, they have been working behind the scenes for years on recycling and repurposing of plastic utensils and paper plates, working tirelessly to keep them from landfills. Just do a search on plastic forks or paper plates, craft ideas, and you will see what I mean. Yes, you can thank Dish and Spoon for most of these ideas. Okay, back to how I made Miss Dish. I could have just painted her lips and eyelids on, but what's fun about that when you can make them out of metal and give her some dimension? And I really wanted her to have the shape of a typical plate, and this is what I came up with. I know there's fancy equipment out there that could have done this very easily, but guess what? I don't have one. Makes me think of that saying, I've done so much with so little for so long, I can now do anything with nothing. Now, I'm certainly not claiming this title. After all, I do have a welding machine, but don't be too impressed. I think I paid around $180 new. But for the light welding I do, it works pretty good. Speaking of tools and such, you may have noticed most of my tools are a matching color scheme. I didn't just buy a large matching set. It's just that over the last couple of years, one by one, my tools have been going out, and Ryobi is a common brand at my local hardware store. And while we're on the subject, I thought this would be a good time to go over some of the tools I use. So real quickly, here's my hand power tool lineup. Consists of a jigsaw, a router, a 4.5-inch angle grinder, sander, drill, a couple of sanders, skill saw, belt sander. I got a couple of pneumatic tools, and then my little electric die grinder. And if you got a minute, I'll show you my storage quick removal system. which consists of a shelf. But what I do is I keep the tools that I'm using a lot, I keep them plugged in, and then I can just reach and grab them when I need them. Right? Which I've mentioned in a previous video, you keep these plugged in, and you're not going to overload your circuit because you can only use one at a time, or at least I can only use one at a time. So this is my system. I'm taking the meaning of paint your face to a whole new level here. And I've never fancied myself as a makeup artist, but I've already done her lips, and now I'm doing her eyelids. And now Miss Dish is unveiling. And here we have them together, ready to run away and live happily ever after. Hello, thanks for watching. My next video will be the last in this Hey Diddle Diddle Yard Art series. It will be of the little dog laughing, and I'm looking forward to doing some more of my more traditional type wall sculpture. And I don't think you want to miss that, so go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.